Okay, so today we are going to see one very important topic called as Power Query. All right. Ata, basically a Power Query, as the name indicates, is a kind of a query language which is running at the background. All right. So any database, if you wanted to access the database, म्हणजे एखादा database आहे, त्याला तुम्हाला access करायचा असेल, use करायचा असेल चांगल्या पद्धतीने, then you can use SQL queries. All right. But a common man cannot learn programming languages very easily, right? It's time consuming. It's not that you cannot learn it, it is time consuming, right? And so, what Excel has done is they have created a small dialog box in between which handles all the SQL queries at the background without a person studying SQL. All right. So now, where all is it used? आपण बघूया आता. So, in this data section, we have the first section over here called as get and transform data. All right. And this section, the queries connections, is related to the getting of the data. All right. Now, a Power Query will be used when you wanted to add a data, delete a data, or you are getting the data from somewhere else inside Excel. All right. And once you get inside the Excel, you wanted to modify that data, okay, without doing cut, copy, paste, and all that stuff. All right. So then we can pull the data. So to pull a particular data, we have get and transform section, get data. Excel has the ability to pull the data from any type of file. So if you look at the variety of files that Excel handles is an Excel workbook. So कुठल्या तरी दुसऱ्या Excel workbook मधनं तुम्ही data pull करू शकता. Copy paste करायची गरज नाही. Right? You don't have to copy paste that data. Then from database, that is from SQL Server databases or Access database. Now, the only thing is that if you know these technologies, then you will be able to handle this better, right? And that is why I said this is a part of that particular Excel mastery. If at all you wanted to go beyond MS Excel, Advanced Excel, right? Okay. It's going to pull data from Azure also. It pulls data now. These are new entrants, power platforms like warehousing, data flows, Dataverse, Lakehouse. These are new entrants over here. Other sources, we can pull the data from any picture also nowadays. So any small picture inside that, suppose it's a JPG, you wanted to pull that data from the JPG. Normally, picture is a picture. You cannot actually pull data from that, isn't it? Right? But here now Excel can identify. So that is one of the smart moves in Excel. Then you have, uh, if you look at some more files like PDF also from the web Excel XML formats also, right? From text files also, right? From PDFs. So PDF is also not a, it's a portable document format. So it cannot actually give the text or tables inside Excel as a table. Okay. It is not recognized directly. But now Excel has the ability to pull the data from any PDF inside your Excel sheet. All right. So these are very powerful features which Excel has introduced inside it, right? Okay. So let's see one at a time. Let's do the most simple, that is from a text file, right? Now to form a text file, we can use it and you can prepare it from Notepad. I have created one particular text file in the form of country, and you will see this is the file which we have created. The country and the currency, India rupee, and so forth, right? So suppose this was the data, you wanted to get it into Excel, don't copy paste. Now you can get that data with the help of get data. All right. Now there are two, three plus points of getting the data from this thing. This also we'll cover up in file. You can go ahead with the text file. And what is important is you will have to find out where is that particular text file. So in the morning, I had created this file and I put it into my own folder by the name country. So the only thing that you have to remember is the address. Okay. Address of that text file. So when you click on that text file, it's telling you to import the data. Okay. So when you import the data, in between, before it is importing, it is asking you, is this the data? Yes. Okay. And you can directly load it inside your Excel, right? Else, and can you see it has properly defined it as columns. In the text file, it was not in the column format. Did you see that? Yes, it was just simple text with spaces in between. All right. Now it is coming up as the proper table. If you want to load it, just load it. If you wanted to make any changes in it, you are going to transform the data. All right. Now, when I click on transform data, this is where the Power Query Editor comes up. Okay. Power Query Editor. This is where all your SQL queries will run. Right. Now, we are not good at SQL. We don't know what SQL is. Probably you are from the programming background, so you may be knowing some part of SQL, right? But a commoner does not know what SQL is all about, right? And so once that particular data is coming inside this, you can see many options. Like in home, you can see choosing columns, reviewing columns or rows or whatever it is. You can split columns also. You have many other parameters over here. You can add new sources also. You can transform with the help of various options over here, right? You can add new columns also. You can delete columns. You can do a lot of work in this. Can you see? And you can also see some health of your data. This is useful. You can just go ahead and select the column quality and probably even the column distribution, right? So in this, you will see, is the data valid? 100% valid, no errors, no empty cells. So it is telling you the health of this particular data. Can you see? So Power Query gives you the power of seeing your data before it is loading inside Excel. समझ रहा है? समझ रहा है? ओके. आयडियली सिंपल आहे. आपल्याला फक्त आहे ना डेटा बाहेरून एक्सेल मध्ये आणायचा आहे. यू डोंट रिअली हॅव टू वरी अबाउट ऑल दीज ऑप्शन्स, कारण आपण हे ऑप्शन शिकणार नाही आहोत जस्ट नाव इन दिस. फक्त तुम्हाला बघायचं आहे की येस तो टेबल फॉर्मॅट मध्ये आला आहे का. ऑलराईट. आणि याच ठिकाणी यू कॅन ऍक्च्युअली गो अहेड विथ changing some things. For example, column 1 and column 2 is something that we have got over here. I don't want column 1 and 2. I wanted country and currency as the title. So there is an option first called as use first row as headers. What happens is country and currency becomes the main heading. So such changes you can prepare inside Power Query. All right. That's it. It is sufficient for you all currently. I wanted this data like this and I just close and load. Close and load, what happens is that particular text file gets inserted inside Excel in the proper table format, and plus it is a identified table, means it's a formatted as table format. Yes, and it is ready for your analysis also. Yes. So what is happening is when you are getting a data, you can get the data from outside sources inside Excel without copy pasting. That is where you are going to use get data. All right, fine. So even when you are practicing, you will create one text file, and from the text file, you are going to pull the data inside Excel. That is sufficient for you just now. Okay, I'm not going to really ask you any questions on get data because it's a part of Power BI also. All right, fine. Okay, but Excel has an ability. हे मला तुम्हाला दाखवायचं इथे. Okay, advanced features like this. Okay, just for your understanding, I am going to pull one more data. Okay, आपण अजून एक प्रकारचा डेटा टाकून बघूया. So let me go ahead with data, get data. I'm now taking the data from some PDF. Okay, from PDF. Let me search where my file is. Okay, I have one file inside this. I have already stored it, right? Can you see? PDF file, PDF file. So now this is a regular PDF file. I'm imported data from the PDF. And you'll also see now there is another database which is getting loaded. Whenever there is a PDF, it shows you this kind of a structure. It shows you the tables also, right? And it shows you images also. So these are images and these are tables, right? Now in this, you don't want these images. So what you can do is I can select only table 1 and table 2, these things, and I can just simply transform. If I transform, I'm going into the Power Query editor once again. Okay. आता मला ट्रान्सफॉर्म नाही करायचंय, साधं लोड करायचंय. So I just load it. I create one more page, one more sheet gets formed. Let me see where it has got inserted. Okay, it's asking me to load. So let me first load it. Here it is. All right. Like this. You can also load it from here, right? So whatever data was there inside that PDF file. So let us see the original PDF file. Let me go to this particular folder. Let me see the separate PDF file also. Okay. Normal PDF files. Got it? You can get it inside the Excel format ready for calculations. Got it? So this is the use of get data. Get data, as the name indicates, getting data from outside sources. कळालं आता? डेटा बाहेरून जर घ्यायचा असेल आपल्या एक्सेलच्या आतमध्ये and that too inside an Excel format, then you are going to use this get data. In between, in the process, you come across something called as Power Query Editor, which is a part of your particular Power BI also and this particular Excel also. But it works very nicely with Power BI. Okay, it's more efficient with Power BI. But as we have seen previously also, you just wanted to finally go ahead with calculations. It's ready for calculations. Got it? Right? Open it up. There it is. Just as your regular Excel. Right? So even if now there is one more thing, there is something called as connections which are getting formed over here. Yes or no? So this is a country. Country 2 is one more sheet where I get this particular data. Suppose the text file, there is some change in the text file. You can update that content over here also. Let's do that. Okay. This is my Excel file. Okay. Let me go and open my country file. Here it is. Suppose now there is an addition or deletion of records from the original text file. Yes or no? So I am adding some data. Let's say Germany. Deutschmark. I think everywhere it is euro now, but let's keep it as this. Tell me one more country. What is this? So I have made changes. Let me save that particular file and let me close it. Yes. All right. Now inside my Excel file, it's not reflected. Yes or no? So in Excel, when you had imported that data, this data get and transform, it also contains something called as queries and connections. So when you are inserting data, it is already connected to the original file. So if there is any change in the original file, you can see the changes over here also by doing this particular feature called as refresh. So when you click on refresh all as a button, you will see that this gets updated. Can you see? Right? Right. So the integrity of the data remains intact. ज्याला आपण म्हणतो की अलग अलग sources में if you had different data, right? And you pulled it inside Excel, आपने उसको pull कर दिया Excel के अंदर, yes? And original files में अगर changes कर दिए, तो आप Excel के अंदर भी उस changes को देख सकते हो with the help of refresh button. Okay, and the connections will remain intact till those files are system is intact. Okay, so normally these kind of features are being used on internet. So nowadays we don't have computer, we don't have MS Office, just like what we have just now in our computers. It is a subscription model and it is internet based models. So it works like our Gmail drive. I prepare a file, and that file, if I save, by default, it goes in something called as the OneDrive. If you must have seen this section over here, OneDrive. Can you see? OneDrive. So if you have a genuine licensed software, okay, you create your files and it by default goes inside the OneDrive, and OneDrive is nothing like but like your Gmail drive. So inside a Gmail drive, there is a file structure which is getting maintained. Okay, there this data importing becomes very useful because then the file structure remains intact. Is this clear? Right? So now while you are practicing, what you will do is you will create a small notepad file. Okay, you can create a notepad file in any manner. Say you have, say, name, comma, full name, right? So let's fill in one particular thing, and format, please keep it intact. I have comma. Tell me your surname, Aarti. Lokhande. Okay, so I had created a file like this. Let me name it as names.txt. So you will create one file like this and save it, close it, come to your Excel and now try and run this get data from file txt format, that is text format. Go to that particular folder where you have created that particular file. I have names file, I import it. Can you see? Now, when it is importing, then it is showing you the format over here only. Do you want this format just like that? Then you just simply load it. If you don't want this format like this, transform the data. While transforming data, you have an option to erase, cancel, add, delete, modify, everything. So all kind of SQL queries, it will run at the background. All right. Now here, I wanted the name and full name as the titles. So use first row as headers is what I've converted, and name and full name has become my titles over here in the database. I close and load, and from here it will get loaded into my new this thing, and that too with proper formatting. Can you see? It has converted those particular names and full names into two different columns. Clear? Got it? So here you have the get data option, right? Okay. Now, so that's all with related to this get data. Okay. You are concerned with only pulling the data and inside this thing. If you wanted to go beyond MIS, as I said, you can learn data analytics, and the next step after Excel is always Power BI, because Power BI is an extension of Excel. Once you know Excel, you become very comfortable with Power BI also. All right. And then after Power BI, you can go ahead with Tableau, Python programming, R programming, and the uh, statistics and Seaborn, right? So like this, you have this continuous career. Okay. But if you want to stop at MIS, absolutely fine. You should know at least what we are doing. Is this clear? Okay. Fine. Now let's go to another section called as the data types. This is the new AI tool in Excel. This was introduced back even before ChatGPT. Okay. So they were very smart in getting all this particular data, right? So how does this work? I'll tell you. This is data types, right? Now, data and data types will run on pre-identified data, meaning that something which is very famous inside the world, okay, it identifies it very easily. So what all is available under data types? That is geography, stocks, and currencies. All right. Now, geography means that what is the geographical importance of India, of America, and so on and so forth. Right. Now, how do you use this? You just keep the cursor in this data and click on geography. So as soon as you click on geography, you will see that United States has got a special symbol over here. Yes. You can also apply it to the entire column wherever you are applying. So you go ahead with data, geography. Just click on that geography button. All right. Now everything has got converted. Can you see this small icon? What happens with this? You click on this icon and you see the most vital parts of this country: the flag, the capital. Can you see? The president, the population. So it's 141 crores now currently. Area of India. And then there are many things over here. The GDP, currency code INR, largest city Mumbai, national anthem, English, Hindi eh, are the languages, subdivisions, life expectancy, 69 years, birth rates, everything is there in this related to India, right? Now, suppose you wanted the population, okay? So you click on population over here, extract the population to the grid. And because this is format as table hai na? Ha. So what happens is if you are running it for one country, it is automatically running for the next rest of the countries also. So here itself, you can see this particular comparison. You can see India and China are on the same population grid kind of a thing. Can you see? So this is all real life data which is getting pulled. Got it? Again, you wanted the capitals of the countries. There it is. Very interesting, very useful. Right? Fine. Okay. Now, this works. Let me have some company name now. Let's pick up, say, Microsoft. We'll pick up Apple also, Google also, right? For the next topic. So now this, similarly on the lines of geography, you have something called as stocks and currencies also. So you can just click on stocks. This converts into the stock market details, right? If you click on this, you will see all the details of Microsoft, NASDAQ stock market. What are the prices of Microsoft shares? So $525 is the Microsoft share. What is it that you wanted to insert? Okay. So you can just simply click on insert. Can you see? And since this is not a format as table, you will see that it is not automatically taking it for the others also, right? Here it is. Can you see? Apple's share in the market is $218. Alphabet, that is Google's, is $196. So real life data is what it is pulling from the net, kind of a AI. All right, fine. Okay. Now, other than that, we also have currencies. Now, currency you could pull from geography also, but you can also apply, say, maybe here currencies. Okay. So let me not disturb this original data. Let us put it somewhere else over here. So I have these geographies, but I can pick up the currencies for this. Okay. Okay. So you'll have to understand what this all about, right? Expense ratio, low, average, whatever it is. Okay. If you just wanted simple currencies, you can go into geography itself and pull the currencies from here. That's the currency code. All right. Fine. Okay. So this is a part of data AI part, AI tools, which was very long introduced in Excel. All right. Okay. So we have covered up these important topics today. Okay. Would you like to give a time? But probably you'll not be able to do it because you don't have an internet connected to it. Okay. So just now what you saw was text to columns. Okay. Now the same thing happens when we have to create data from text to columns. So suppose you had a data like this, Monday dash Tuesday dash Wednesday, like this, right? You wanted to convert this text into columns, right? So you can directly do it also in Excel. How does it work? You select this particular text. It can be a column also. Here you go into data and you have this feature called as text to columns. Can you see? And just now what you saw on your PCs, the same thing appears here also, right? So it's asking you where is the delimiter. So if you wanted to convert text to columns between two text which you are trying to divide into columns, what is the delimiter? Means what is that particular small symbol? Now symbols normally will be these, either space, dash, comma, slash, or then that particular bar, right? So what is that data over here? So if you're not very sure, select the first option. Go to the next. And here you have various options. It's not tab. It's not even semicolon, comma, space. It's not there only. I have some other symbol and the other symbol is dash. As soon as you put a dash, you will see that there is a preview over here. It has got divided into columns. Click on next. Where do you want? So you can mention it here only. I want to divide it at A1 only and finish. So you will see this data now gets divided into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday on three different columns. So that is called as text to columns. तुम्ही कुठलाही text columns मध्ये convert करू शकता, right? Provided it has a delimiter, right? So let's have one more example. I took it yes in the morning actually. Let's see if that is there. No, it's not there. So let us see something else also. Okay, so something like this was there in the column. For example, this is a very common scenario. Yes or no? Yes. So you had columns like this also in your data. You wanted to separate. So whenever you want to separate them, look for the delimiter. There is a delimiter over here called as dash, sorry, right? So you can just select this text to columns, mention that there is a dash in between. It's going to separate it out here itself and finish. Can you see? But when there is no delimiter in between, so for example, the data was something like this. Now there is a difficulty. You cannot separate it just like with the help of text to columns. What else can you use? Do you remember? You wanted to remove 10 digits from this particular thing. Yes. So you are going to use the write function over here. Write of this, how many characters? 10 characters, and you get this particular data. Right? So both the ways you can do, but you'll have to look out for the delimiter. If the delimiter is there, only then you will be able to use it. Yes? Done. So that is text to columns, right? Flash fill you have already seen. Yes. A pattern, you have to mention one pattern, it will just continue with the pattern, right? Okay. Then there is a remove duplicates option. Okay. The remove duplicates works very nicely when you have a data which is formatted. So something like this. Okay. I had a duplicate data. I'm selecting this data and I'm purposely making it as a duplicate. Can you see? I'm just deleting this. Okay. So there is duplicate data in this. Got it? Now, to see the duplicate data, you have an option called as formatting, conditional formatting. Remember? You could very well select this and go ahead with home conditional formatting, highlight this by duplicate values. Yes or no? You could see the duplicate values, right? But it does not remove the duplicate values. You can just see the duplicate values, right? Now, if you wanted to remove the duplicate values, first convert your table into a format as table, right? And then go ahead with removing the duplicates with the help of this particular remove duplicates option from data. So these are some data tools that we are doing. Now, from where is the, how do you identify there are duplicates? Okay. Mostly you should identify the duplicates with IDs. For example, there is a mark list. Okay. Hana. In one class, there can be two Artis. Even surnames can be same, but their roll numbers will never be same. Got it? So if you wanted to really genuinely remove all duplicates, you should look for the IDs. All right. Here, no IDs, but country names itself is a, a particular differentiator, right? So I'll just unselect all, and I'm saying that whatever duplicates are there in the countries, remove those. Means automatically duplicate values will come out, right? Okay, Kila? It's telling you 3 duplicates were there and I removed. Only 8 unique values remain. Okay, and there you get the data which does not have any duplicates. Is this clear? So this data tools section is also useful. So you get the data from somewhere or you take it from text or whatever it is, right? You put it into Excel. While putting into an Excel, you can divide it into columns. The same division of columns can be also seen under the data tool section text to columns. So manually also you wanted to do, you can do it text to columns. You can get it through import data also. Any one ways, right? Fine. So this is it, right? Okay. And the last topic for today, that is data validation. I think so we have not done this, right? We saw the consolidation, right? We had seen the consolidation. This data validation is something that is useful when you want to avoid data entry errors. Okay. So you can just write down data validation is used when you have to minimize the data entry errors. data validation is used when you have to minimize the data entry errors. Means what? That this feature will be more useful when you are entering data inside Excel. Okay. Till now, आतापर्यंत आपण आहे ना, we have just typed the data and we got the data, right? But we did not see one important part called as validation. Now, if I was using this particular data, I know the importance of this data. In this data, I can understand that marks are important. Okay. So when I am entering, I will see to it that the marks are proper. Me properly enter करती है. I am entering the data properly. But suppose I have a subordinate who does not know this data. Then there are chances that he or she will make a lot of mistakes while entering data. He or she may not understand the importance of that data. Yes or no? So before you are giving someone else for data entry, you can actually validate your data. Okay. Validate data means what? That you are going to make settings in such a way that errors do not occur. Okay. Means what? I have entries in the subjects. से subjects एकसारखे आहेत त्यामुळे सगळेचे सगळे सिलेक्ट केले आणि अगदी शेवटपर्यंत सिलेक्ट केले. सिलेक्टेड टिल द एंड. कॅन यू से? Because the data can be inserted anywhere over here. Yes or no? So I'm just going to select all those columns and I'll go ahead with something called as validation over here. All right, validation. Now there are three parts of a validation: settings, input message, and error alert message. You have to fill all the three. Out of this, most important is the setting. Allow. Allow means what do you want the people to enter? अलाव करायचं म्हणजे काय तुम्ही व्हॅल्यू अलाव करणार आहात. एंट्री मध्ये काय चालणार आहे आणि काय नाही चालणार आहे, बरोबर की नाही? सो काय चालणार आहे ते सांगायचं तुम्हाला. व्हॉट इज इट दॅट यू आर गोइंग टू अलाव? नाउ इफ यू अंडरस्टँड द डेटा बिहाइंड, यू आर गोइंग टू अलाव ओनली नंबर्स. कुणी या कॉलम मध्ये टेक्स्ट टाकलं, डेट टाकलं, चालण्यासारखं आहे का? नाही ना. कुणीतरी डेटच टाकून दिली त्याच्यामध्ये किंवा टेक्स्टच टाकून दिला, इट्स नॉट गोइंग टू वर्क, राईट? सो देन अलाव whole numbers, only numbers. Okay. Now which numbers? Numbers between 0 to 100 only. You cannot put negative numbers. You cannot put 101, 102 marks. Yes or no? So the data is between 0 to 100 only. Yes. कळते आरती? So settings करतोय आपण इथे आधी. We are creating settings. All right. Fine. Now you decided कि I have given all instructions कि 0 to 100 में ही जो भी data होगा that you are supposed to insert. Yes. Now after doing all these settings also, there may be people those who can create errors, right? Now you cannot sit with that particular person. So please put a message for that particular person. Now you cannot sit with that person every time for data entry. Yes or no? Then what's the point? You only do the data entry, right? So what you are going to do is give the message. What is this? These are subject marks. So make that person aware now what this column is all about. So title you are going to put subject marks because those are subject marks. Yes. Input message. Please enter marks properly. They are very important. Yes or no? So you are giving a message to your subordinate that these are subject marks. Please enter properly without any mistakes. Okay, right? Now, even after doing settings and messages, that person may create some errors. So you have to stop that particular person from creating that error. That is validation. Avoid the errors, right? So there are different styles. One is stop warning information. The warning and information are lenient styles. ज्याला आपण म्हणतो की it will allow wrong data. But stop will not allow wrong data also. So I'm going to select stop. Title of the error message is error. Okay. Here put a proper message. Please enter data between 0 to 100 only. So you're giving importance, you're telling the importance to that particular person where he or she is going wrong also. So what you're doing here is you're creating a system that instead of you, anyone else, if they are entering data, they should be able to enter the data properly. Okay, right? So you have set everything, settings, input message, error alert, everything okay, and click on okay. See, when you are entering the data or your subordinate is entering the data, see what has happened? Please enter subject marks properly. इथे आलेलं नाहीये, इथे येतंय. And that too as a screen tip. So एकदा तरी तो माणूस बघेल ना की बाबा हे काय आहे. वो एक बार तो चेक करेगा ना कि क्या है ये मैसेज, right? So now there is an entry and you did a wrong entry. What happened? See, please enter data between 0 to 100 only. Okay, there's a mistake from my end. I can retry it. If I don't do it, I can cancel it and it is gone again. I have to enter the right data and only then go forward. Right? Useful? I know it is a lengthy process, but once you do this, you are ensuring that the data is getting entered properly. Data entry नीट होतीये, याचं तुम्ही खबरदारी घेताय. Alright? मग काय टाकायला पाहिजे, काय नाही टाकायला पाहिजे, हे सगळं तुम्ही आधी मेन्शन करणार आहात त्याच्यात. Got it? Right? So that is called as data validation. And if you wanted to remove the validation, just select all those cells where there is validation. You select the validation over here and clear all. So the way you applied the data validation, you can just simply clear all and it's gone. Got it? Right? Have you understood data validation? Right? So you can try out with data validation. So this is one tool which was a small tool, but useful if you are entering data. Okay, so that finishes our particular most important topics of Excel. All right. One session that I'm going to take tomorrow will be a recap session. So there are very small topics which are important that I have left for some reason. One or two small topics, those we will cover and we'll finish this particular batch tomorrow. All right, fine. So this you can try out with data validation just now. Okay.